Hi, my name is Sue Hoffman. I'm from Oakland Township, Michigan, and my quote is, "It allows her to sit with Joey one last time." I began quilting probably about 15 years ago, seriously. I love fabric. I love to buy fabric. I love to touch fabric. I like to own it. I feel good with fabric. And I did most of my quilting on a little hand machine, a little Pfaff. And as I began to make more tops and working on it, the quilting part became the unpleasant part because it was so hard to wrestle the fabric under the quilt and stuff. I was getting a little discouraged until one day my husband and I went into the local sewing machine shop and I saw a handy quilter, and when I saw it I knew that's what I needed. I knew that's what I wanted, and I was convinced I knew how to work it and could make beautiful things with it. Of course, at that point we had 2 sons in college and the price was too prohibitive. So after our sons graduated, as a 35th wedding anniversary gift, my husband bought me my handy quilter, and I love it. My story about the quilt that has impacted me the most, has been the most profound impact on me, is the one I made for a young man's mother who was killed in Afghanistan. Now, usually when I make a quilt, I like the expensive cottons and the bright colors and the beautiful this and the beautiful that to go with it. With Joey's quilt, what I had to work with was something more precious than cotton. It was his clothes. It was all that remained of him. Now, Joey's family was very interconnected in our community. Many of my coworkers knew him, went to church with him. One of my coworkers, her daughter was married to him. So she asked me to make a memory quilt for Joey. And I did. And I said there were 3 parameters I had for that quilt. It had to honor Joey in his life, it had to honor Joey in his death, and it had to give his mother comfort. And I think I managed to do that. To me, it was a learning experience, and it opened my eyes more to what it really costs, the freedom in our country that we take for granted, what a toll it takes on families and the people that are left behind. And I said in my story that it is not the most artistic quilt I ever made, it's not the prettiest quilt I ever made, but it's the most important quilt I ever made, and it's the one that's going to be loved the most.